about I started off as talking about people that are racing and trying to get, racing around and like around the hamster wheel right now, much like so many of us. And I've been there and I still am in a lot of ways. But I fortunately found like inner peace and like a strategy that has given me some mental freedom, that gives me the opportunity and the times to relay it, learn it, of course, and that's why I'm trying to relay this to you guys. So I mean, I'm just paying it forward. Why do I do it? I don't, like, truthfully, it's like, listen, aren't we here to do something? And I just feel that, in my heart, my passion, what drives me is to help. And you know what? I'm just one of those people. There's some people that love to hug trees. There's some people that are really, I got a great friend, Ursula, who's like, all she does is dedicate her life to like helping animals and rescuing them. And that is incredible. There's people that are just driven just to make people laugh. I mean, there's people that are like a Robin Williams. I mean, what a price to pay for genius, though. But amazing, So there's people that are driven to find new technologies. Look at Steve Jobs. I mean, phenomenal, brilliant man. I mean, how do you get any more brilliant than that? I mean, he's like the Einstein of our time. I mean, granted, he wasn't into quantum physics, quantum theory, but either way. So to stay on topic once again, and I apologize, but one of the things that that I was trying to relay here before I get into this thing with heroin is that I'm going to be giving everyone an inside look as to what this one guy, Corey Dwyer, does. He's a friend. He's actually a family member as well. And I'm just really honored to know the guy and to be a friend of his and to be part of his family. He's been doing something for people that are suffering from addictions, especially heroin, for about 15 years now. So he does candlelit vigils. I mean, he's got his own page. He's got a blog site with like over 30,000 followers. I mean, he really, like, his passion, he's like a Mother Teresa for heroin addicts. I mean, it's like incredible. Like, and I say that with like the highest, praises. I mean, like, that is like I don't know, he just is phenomenal, like, truly. And I'm just really psyched, and I cannot wait to give you guys this opportunity to meet him and to see what goes on. And I'm hoping that within this, something will resonate with a lot of us. And we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be able to uncover some layer of what it is that's got us so blinded and so busy. And I really think part of that blindfold is part of that fabric is the fact that that we're racing around so much. I mean, like, I just honestly, we're racing around so much, like we're constantly on the hamster wheel, and for me to see how many kids are getting caught up in all the above and finding themselves going to like drinking or going to getting high or going to shoot up or popping a few pills, it's like I learned that America makes up 5% of the population, and we consume 80% of the world's cocaine. We consume 80% of almost everything. So how is it that like so many of us are going to the outside to figure out what it is that we truly need? And and in my eyes, I personally feel that if we're in a situation where we're going so fast that we cannot figure out what it is that we're here for or what we are working toward, we need to schedule a time to focus on yourself and to figure it out. Like, do it every day. I mean, if you give yourself 15 minutes, a half hour, like an hour would be incredible. But it took me a while to do it. But and that's with a 7-month-old and a 3-year-old. So, and with another one on the way. So there's a lot happening. But in my life. But you know what? Like, I'm able to take when I can. I mean, because listen, none of us are perfect. We're all broken. I mean, like, even psychologists. I mean, everyone goes to counselors. I mean, all the counselors go to other people too. So, all I'm trying to get at is just that, like, we truly need to look within. And, it's fact. It is common fact. It's like, I can't stress enough the importance of figuring out what it is that we really want to do, and at least having a goal, writing a goal down and just following, even if it's something small, but just do it. Like, when you act, you eliminate all the other junk. I mean, all the limitations begin to break away when you begin to act. you know, when you begin to move, when you take that step and just say, enough's enough, I'm moving on. You know, like Anthony Robbins says, you know, like, you know, when you have that, so I'm thinking incantations, which is a good thing too, because like when you're telling yourself that you can do absolutely anything, and you're saying it, and you know, and you're submerging yourself in so much positive or whatever it is within that environment. But when you, an incantation, when you just have like a motto and you just yell it and feel it and just throw it out there and just give it all your heart, key moment right here, heart and soul, that like you realize that, you know, you work to make it happen, you know. He calls it drastic change, is what he calls it. So when you decide enough's enough, and you take, or you make drastic change, you begin to start moving in the other direction. Now, one thing I want to tell you, which is pretty interesting, excuse me, is, okay, understand that 95% of the brain, or 95% of what we do, is run by the subconscious mind. Okay, so 5% is what has us wear whatever it is we want to wear today. Okay, is that tells us what TV show we want to watch, is what tells us who it is we want to date. Okay, that's conscious thinking. All right, whether you want to grab a drink or whether you don't. Okay, conscious thinking. So that's 5%. All right, so whenever you do things enough or long enough, it becomes habit. That's why sometimes, and it's a very common expression or example, why so many of us just we drive to work and we realize, hey, wait a minute, I wasn't even thinking, like, how did I even get here? That's all habit. That's all driven by our subconscious mind. So what I'm trying to get at is that, like, when you act and you make a change, a drastic change, like Anthony Robbins says, you begin to focus your consciousness in a different direction. Okay, now why does it take so long? The reason why it takes so long is because it takes a certain period of time, some say 6 weeks, some say 3 months, in order for things to finally register within your subconscious mind that you finally make that change, where it just becomes habit. So all I'm trying to say here is that, like, if you're in a habit of constantly racing around and then when you don't have anything to do, you're kind of like, oh my God, I'm out of place. What do I need to do here? There's something that needs to be done. There's something that needs to be done. Those are the moments you need to say, wait a minute. It's okay. Like, this is a moment for me to figure this out. Okay, it's a moment for me to, because that's proof that when you get in that type of, we always adjust to whatever environment we're in. I realized that when I went fishing. You know, when I fished in Alaska for the first time. I mean, you're working, I didn't know what, you know, I had somewhat of an idea, but I mean, it was like crazy working with people from all over the world, you know, speaking different languages, 30 guys on a boat. It was nuts. Like, it was crazy. You know, it's just unbelievable work conditions. Like, you know, I get to work on deck and get to see, you know, the Bering Sea, and then years later, or a year later, or less than that, I get a chance to work in the Atlantic, and I worked there for 2 years as an offshore lobsterman. I mean, I saw weather that would, I mean, like, you get to a point where, like, it is that hairy or that scary, or, I mean, it freaks you the F out. Like, it is nuts, literally crazy. I wouldn't even tell my wife. She was my fiance at the time. I wouldn't even tell her how dangerous it was, because I knew she would have stopped me. But the money was really good, and I wanted to do this. And you get to a point where, like, you say, hey, I can either, like, cower down and just break down sobbing, crying, and freaking the F out, or I can just focus on my job and just stay to what I can control. The 25, 30-foot waves, I can't control. All right, the fact that I can pay attention to the job I need to get done to get us done faster, so that we can finally, you know, get back in. I mean, with winds blowing so much that it snaps, my deck boss's cigarette snapped in half. All right, a freshly lit cigarette snapped in half. That's how heavy the winds were when we were working in some of the conditions we were in. So all I'm trying to get at is you find a way to adjust to whatever it is you're feeling. Okay? So to whatever it is that's going on. So if you're in a habit of constantly, you know, being busy and being on the hamster wheel and running around, I got to make plans with this person. I can only spend 2.5 hours, with this family member or this friend, you know, and then I got to go shopping and I got to do this. Like, obviously, you need to figure out a way of scheduling time for yourself, and that's the most important thing you can do, because the moment that, like, you figure out and you have that time and you can reorganize and reformulate a plan is the moment that you begin to. And I have to bring you on I'm going a little over here. All right, I'm just about 10 minutes, so I'll go for another minute and then I'll kick if I have to. I don't mean to. I just don't want to. Everyone's so busy as it is. This is how busy we are, that I have to break what I'm trying to relay to you to under 10 minutes. It's that serious. I mean, we're really like, and even this is going to be long for a lot of people. I probably should be doing it 6 to 7 minutes. So, but you know, I'm already in it. I've already started with these increments, so I'm going to stay with it. So, so when we find ourselves in a situation where we're going so fast that we don't know why it is that we're going so fast, and we lose sight of what it is that really was our ambition, that what it was that really carried us through, you know, that drove us to get to what it was that we wanted to be in life. I mean, we've all had those dreams, and it wasn't when you were in 3rd grade. I mean, the dreams didn't stop in 3rd grade. You know, like, all right, I'm going to hit time, and I'm going to catch you in a minute. So thanks for watching. You guys are great. Thanks for hanging in here.